Love Island episodes 6 through 9 were not going the way I expected. First of all, we got 3 new bombshells, which I'm I'm actually okay with the 3 of them. They came in less hot than Corbin, Kata, and who was the other bombshell that she came in with? Gabriel. They came in less hot than the those other 3, but I want to talk about the dynamics between Sol, one of the bombshells, Sincere, and Melanie, because it was just a mess. So by now, we all know that Melanie is very insecure. She jumps to conclusions. She self-sabotages because there was at some point Sincere told her a couple episodes ago he's not thinking about anybody else, but she could not hear him through her own insecurities, and she just told him, go, go, I release you, but turns around and gets upset when he so much as speaks to another woman. Now, in these new episodes, I'm going to say Sincere is in the wrong here. He straight told Melanie he's not interested in Sol. 5 minutes later in the episode, we see him kissing Sol. Then he does it again another episode later. And the way he's handling this, he's like, you're my number one, you're my number one. It's messing with her head, okay? And honestly, at that point, I did feel bad for Melanie. She was not one of my favorite girls, but I felt so bad for her. And I wanted her to go and get with Corbin. Even though I don't like Corbin, at least his attention would have been focused on her. Now, Sol, who I love because she's gorgeous and she seems sweet, everyone decided to just villainize her. And I felt for her when they had the pie challenge and they had to pie people in the face they were like voting for. All the guys voted for her as the one to steal someone's man. They voted for her as I don't remember what the other thing was, but it was something grimy. And the second pie to the face sent her over the edge. She started crying and I felt so bad for her because I have to remember these people are so young, okay? And for her to come in and feel like she has no friends and everyone's picking on her, pieing her in the face, embarrassing her, when all she's doing is playing the game everybody else is playing, because this is a game. I'm sorry. I don't believe in the love part of Love Island, okay? It's more like Sex Island. This is a competition. If you want to stay on the island, you have to be in a couple. And Sincere is the only guy who she was vibing with. So it's not like she's out to steal your man. It's your man came to speak to her and everyone is supposed to speak to each other. So I felt bad for her when she was crying. I know Melanie was happy as fuck. I know Melanie's petty ass. I know she was happy. And I think the guys felt a little bad once they saw her cry. The new hosts from Summer House were like, this is the job of a bombshell. It's not personal, but no one pied the other new bombshell. I'm going to insert her name here because I'm terrible with names. Anyway, I still think Sincere and Sol are they might not make it to the end of the show, especially if they introduce any other bombshells. I don't know how this show really goes because this is my first time watching Love Island. But you can't trust Sincere. Sincere is insincere, and I said that in my first recap video, which I'll link here. I knew from jump, before we even got into it, just looking at him, the way he was speaking, I was like, you cannot trust him. And I think he even mentioned his parents said he's a player. I rest my case. Anyway, we pivot to Trinity and Bryce, who I never thought we were going to have series drama from. Bryce, every time Trinity wasn't feeling him, he refused to accept that. He's like, I'm your man. And she started feeling him. They started having more conversations. You see them hanging out. She's painting his nails. They were a cutesy little couple I didn't think I needed to worry about. They weren't my favorite couple, but I didn't think I had to worry about them at all. Now, Bryce, I don't know if it's Zach getting into his head. Zach is his best friend on there. I love their bromance. Zach is telling him he doesn't think Trinity is right for him. And I don't know why Zach says this. If it's because he knows, he suspects Trinity doesn't feel as deeply for Bryce as Bryce feels for her. Or if he's just a hater and he secretly wants Bryce. I don't know what's going on with Zach. But I think that's what gets into Bryce's ear. And he's like, I need to have a backup plan if Trinity ends up dropping me for a bombshell that comes in. Because he acknowledges that he's not Trinity's usual type. And interestingly enough, Trinity says this too. Trinity's like, she knows she's not Bryce's usual type. So the two of them are in like shaky ground, sort of, even though they've established this connection. They have in the back of their minds that someone could come steal this person away from me. So with Zach's words in Bryce's ear, Bryce has the dumb idea to explore a connection with Kata, who is Zach's girl. Zach has not vibed with any other women. He and Kata have been like this since she came on as the bombshell. So you are with your best friend and you tell him, out of respect for you, I'm going to go try and steal your girl? And Zach laughs at first because he thinks he's playing. Like, he thinks it's a joke. And I would laugh too. I would think, my best friend? But Zach is like, oh, you're serious? Like, you're dead ass right now. And he's like, yeah, like, he's like, I would just regret if I did not explore this because she's the only other person I've, like, vibed with. I'm trying to think back on previous episodes. What vibe is he picking up on? They've hung out with Zach. Like, it's a friendship triad, okay? There was no flirtation going on. So I was like, is he just trying to do this to get Trinity jealous? That was my next thought, because Trinity and Kata are also friends. Anyway, Zach tells him, go ahead, do it, but I think it's going to be a mistake. I wish Zach had been more stern with him, telling him how stupid he is and how hurt he is that he would do something like this, because that's his friend. But Zach is like, you know what, go ahead. And in the confessional, he's just like, this makes me super uncomfortable. He doesn't even know where this is coming from. Now, Bryce goes and tells Trinity. And, you know, I'll give props to Bryce for giving Zach and Trinity the heads up before he speaks to Kata. He tells Trinity, you know, we've been shaky for a little bit. I, of course, am still committed to you, but it would be a disservice to myself and you if I did not, at this point, early on in the show, go and speak to the other woman I feel like I have a connection with. And he's like, how do you feel about that, Trinity? And I'm like, yo, he's really trying to just get a reaction out of her to see if she really likes him. And Trinity's sitting there and she's like, okay, I'm not fucking with it. And I love how blunt she is. I love that she not try to hide it like Zach did. Like, I'm glad she point blank told him, I'm not here for it. Trinity, I think, is the youngest person in the show. She's like 21, 22 or something. So when it came to her matchup with Bryce, who is the oldest person on the show, it kind of seemed like he was more mature than her. But in this episode, this particular episode, it's showing that maybe she has some more maturity than expected. She's not rude with it. She is making her point clear. She's grown a little bit, which was actually shocking. I didn't expect anyone to grow from this experience. But I've seen her communication style change, and she's been giving good advice to other people on the show. Really good advice. She's been calling people out on their nonsense in a calm and polite way, like giving feedback to Melanie when she's acting a fool, giving feedback to Bea when she's being blunt to the point of hurting someone's feelings. So I actually was starting to like her and Bryce's dynamic. Now, Bryce came in and had to throw a wrench into this budding relationship. And next he goes to Kata. He pulls Kata, tells her he wants to explore the connection or whatever. And Kata tells him, what you're feeling is one-sided. I only see you as a friend. And I'm glad she kept it short and sweet and to the point. It looked hella embarrassing for Bryce, because now you got to go tell your friend and your girl that your best friend's girl rejected you and now you're coming crawling back to Trinity. I wanted to be petty and have Trinity go and explore something with someone else. And I hope that's what's coming up in the future episodes because Bryce, what the hell? What the hell? Anyway, Kenzie, I'm finally glad Kenzie has someone she's vibing well with, even though I don't have a full read on this new guy. He is cute, he's polite, he's charming. He's exactly her type and he seems like he's attracted to her. So I like them together for now. I just want to learn more about him and see how they match up with each other. And I felt bad for Kenzie, like going through the episodes. Like she clearly did not know what to do with herself. She's never been in the position where she wasn't number one, a number one choice. So she was kind of just hanging around in the background, which is why I kind of liked her and Sean's dynamic. They both were the two rejected parties, and I kind of thought they were going to end up exploring something between the two of them, but it didn't happen. But now that I mentioned Sean, if you recall from my previous video, I mentioned that Sean and Bea had originally matched up. However, when Gabrielle, the bombshell, came in, Bea dropped Sean and went for him. I knew that was a mistake from jump because Gabrielle, he's not here for no connections. He's here to touch as many bodies as possible in the shortest amount of time possible. I was like, Bea, come on. And I was wondering if Bea went for him because she mentioned he makes her feel feminine. Now, Gabrielle has an aggressive sort of masculinity, not in a... It doesn't seem toxic on the show, but he is making his attraction very apparent. He's very touchy. He looks at people like he's thinking about stripping them down at all times. Whereas Sean is more quiet with his attraction. He's still flirty, but he's more demure in comparison. And maybe that's what attracted Bea away from Sean and over to Gabrielle. But the whole time I was like, you cannot trust Gabrielle. Please speak to another man at the same time. It was kind of tough. Unfortunately, when another bombshell came in, I can't remember her name, I'll put it here. Gabrielle is like, ooh, she is gorgeous. And she is. She is more curvaceous, whereas Bea is more athletic and lean. And I don't know, as soon as she stepped out, Gabrielle's eyes like turned to her. It's like Bea didn't exist anymore. And Bea, I know she recognized this, but she still had hope that Gabrielle would choose her. Like they were still cuddling, like she sought reassurance from him. And unfortunately, at the end of the episodes, he ended up matched up with that bombshell, which I knew it was going to happen. I think America voted for this. I also voted. I must have missed that. When I voted, it was super late. I'm not going to hold you. But now Bea is also kicked off the island. The same way Sean was kicked off because she was no longer in a couple with him. Bittersweet. I wonder, like, outside of the show, what's the likelihood of people getting back together? Probably not high, at least for these two. But I'm excited to see what comes next, especially with Trinity. I need her to explore some other connections. And also, I need to mention, Casey, I don't know, him and Aniyah, I like them together, but I also want Aniyah to explore too. Like, they seem to just silo themselves off because they were also, like, from the first episode, nobody chose them. So they were just automatically matched up. Now, Aniyah, she doesn't like when Casey makes, like, little jokes, little digs, because she's in a bad place. She recognizes, even if she doesn't say it out loud, it's just the two of them. And as a Black woman, I'm sorry, I've heard the rumors about Love Island and how Black women experience Love Island. She, rightfully so, is worried about, is she going to make it to the end of this? Now, another problem I have, Aniyah seems to become, like, she has become the island therapist. They make her focus so much on everybody else's relationships. she doesn't have time to worry about herself or finding another connection. I feel like everybody's just friend zoned her, and I don't like that. She is gorgeous. She's smart. She gives great advice. She, honestly, I want to see more. I want to see more coming out of Love Island for Aniyah. And I, if I got to vote, we'll see what the next vote. I want to see if we're going to try to match her up with somebody else or something, because I don't like how her storyline is going right now. But let me know how you guys felt. Which couple are you rooting for at this point? Who are you going to try to vote off next? Because I think I'm going to try to get Sincere off. Yeah, I want him off the show. But let me know how you guys felt. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.